to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Erin and I'm a first-time mom to a baby boy named William. William just turned 8 months old, and today's video is going to be about his 8-month update, like how he's been doing, you know, what his milestones are, how he's sleeping, what he's eating, all of that. So before we get started, I just want to go ahead and say, if you're not already subscribed, hit that red subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you know anytime I upload a video. We would love to have you here with us as part of our family to share, you know, daily vlogs with you, sit down videos. I'm about to start college back, you know, just all kinds of videos about how I'm dealing with being a first-time mom and just everything that I've got going on in my life. So without any further ado, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is William's eating. He's been formula fed since he was about a month and a half old. For the first month and a half of his life, I was pumping. I was exclusively pumping because he never really latched well, but he's been on the Similac sensitive formula ever since then, and he's been doing pretty good on that. He's currently eating about 8 ounces of formula every 4.5 to 5 hours, depending on, you know, what his mood is and what time it is. Typically he'll wake up between 7 to 7:30 in the morning, and I'll feed him then, and then I'll feed him around noon, and then I'll feed him again around 5 o'clock, and then I'll top him off with about 3 to 4 ounces before he goes to bed at around 8. As far as eating solids goes, I started him around 5.5, 6 months old eating rice cereal and a little bit of puree, and he does good with that. The rice cereal did constipate him quite a bit. He's had a bit of go back and forth between constipation and diarrhea kind of thing since he was little. I'm not entirely sure why, but it's not very often, and his doctor's aware of that. She didn't say that it's being caused by anything. Tells me to give him prunes when he gets really constipated, and when he gets diarrhea, she prescribed me a cream to put on his butt if it, you know, gives him a rash, and she tells me to give him extra water. So there's really nothing too concerning about that. I was kind of like that whenever I was little. I had BM problems as well, so he probably gets that from me. So he likes puree food. He likes kind of the rice cereal. Now I'll give him either rice cereal or oatmeal cereal, and when I do that, I'll mix in a puree to give it a little bit of flavor, and sometimes I'll even like mash up like a banana or something and put it in there to give it just a little bit of extra flavor. Now as far as actual like solid food goes, he's had a little bit of trouble. I've given him like soft foods like a banana or an avocado, steamed broccoli, the frozen blueberries and raspberries, stuff like that. He's had a hard time eating them until just recently. Whenever we first started giving him like actual finger foods, he would gag. Like as soon as they went in his mouth, he would gag. And some over time, he's gotten a little better about. Now he'll actually chew things and not gag as often whenever they're in his mouth, but most of the time, whenever something is in his mouth that's like a solid finger food, he will gag. Whenever he goes to swallow it, he'll drool a whole bunch and he'll make like a really gross face, and then he'll gag to get it out. So there have been a couple of times where he has swallowed. I think it's mostly by accident. Here recently, within the last couple of days, whenever I have given him like a blueberry or a piece of banana or maybe like a little chopped up sweet potato or just whatever, he has gotten to the point now where he will actually like chew it and swallow it. It's only been going on for the last day or so. He hasn't been doing that for a long time, so I'm waiting to see, you know, how this develops, if he's starting to get the hang of it more, and whether or not I can start giving him like more things like toast or egg or something like that. I've mostly been just sticking to really soft fruits and vegetables because he seems to have a little bit of easier time, you know, chewing those and ingesting them. I will give him like puffs and those little teething crackers and, you know, those little Gerber dissolvable little wheel shaped teething whatever they are, and he does like those. He goes crazy for puffs. I'm not even kidding. Like sometimes I have to hide the puffs away from where he can't see them, because if he's in his high chair and he sees like a puff or a container of puffs, he will kick and whine and groan and moan until I give him puffs, because he will eat those by the handful. So I know he knows how to chew and swallow. Granted, they do dissolve in his mouth, but he knows how to chew and swallow because, like I said, he will grab a handful of puffs and just eat them all at once. And I have to give him like a couple at a time because I'm scared he'll choke. Like, he loves his puffs. And back to like the purees and stuff like that, I still do give him the purees along with finger food. I kind of do like a combo feeding. I was gonna strictly just do a baby-led weaning in the beginning, but since he's had that problem of swallowing and gagging and stuff, I kind of just mainly, like mostly do the purees, and then I'll give him finger foods kind of to complement them to kind of see how he does. I try to sit down with him at least twice a day and give him some kind of either puree or a finger food, something like that. What I'll do is I'll give it to him either 30 minutes before or after a bottle. He does know how to feed himself with a spoon. Whenever I feed him the purees, he will grab the spoon and put it in his mouth, and he'll suck the stuff off, and then I'll take it from him, he'll let go, and then I'll give it back, and he'll do the same thing. He'll eat with the spoon. And he even has these little, I don't remember the name of the brand, but I'll link them down below, and I'll insert a picture so you can see. They're these little tiny spoons that are really short and stubby, and he gets a good hold of them, and then he also feeds himself with those spoons. The next thing I want to talk to you about is his sleeping schedule. Ever since we sleep trained him whenever he was around 5.5, 6 months old, he has been a great sleeper. What we did is we asked his doctor when she thought that he could, you know, stop eating in the middle of the night, and she gave us the okay whenever, I think it was whenever he was a week from being 6 months old. So the week before his 6-month birthday, we started weaning him off of his nighttime feeding. So I would cut back like an ounce or 2 ounces every night. And then after he got done with the weaning at night is whenever I started letting him figure out how to self-soothe and fall asleep on his own. I was originally going to do the Ferber method where you let him cry and then you check on him, you know, every few minutes, like they give you time intervals. But the way he cried was he would cry for a few minutes and then stop, and then he would cry a few minutes later and then he would stop. So if you're familiar with the Ferber method, then you know that if he stops crying, then the time starts over. And he would cry and stop, and the time would always start over. So I never really got a chance to go in there and check on him. So what I did was I just let him be. I just let him cry. I stayed away. I mean, obviously I have a video monitor so I can see him. Like, I know if he's in distress. I can tell if he can't breathe. I can tell if he throws up. And he didn't do any of that. He was fine. He just wanted comfort, and I had to sit on my hands and cry to Matt. Like, I had him hug me, I had him reassure me that I was being a good mom and that it was best for us and him. He cried that first night, and ever since then he's slept throughout the night without me, you know, having to go in there and coddle him. He does a really good job. I put him in a sleep sack, lay him in his crib, and then I turn the light out and I leave. And he'll be fully awake whenever I leave him, and he'll find one of his little Wubba pacifiers, put it in his mouth, and he'll just go straight to sleep on his own. As far as naps go, I do the same thing. I just lay him in his crib and leave him be. And his first nap is usually around 9:30 in the morning, and his second nap is between like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. One of those naps, he'll either sleep for like 30-45 minutes, and then he'll sleep for like an hour and a half to 2 hours for the other nap. Like, it kind of alternates. Usually his midday nap is his longest one, but sometimes his first nap is the longest one. So I guess it just kind of depends on him. And then his last nap of the day will be around, you know, 4 or 5 o'clock, depending on how long he slept for that second nap. And that nap will usually be around 30 to 45 minutes. It's not a very long nap. Sometimes if he has short naps for both of his first naps during the day, that last nap will be longer. But his nap schedule doesn't really affect his sleep schedule at all. He still goes to sleep just fine at the end of the day and sleeps all night despite what his nap schedule's like, whether he gets all of his naps and sleeps really good, or if he misses a nap and skips it. You know, he's a really good sleeper. sleeper. His bedtime is between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, depending on how long his last nap lasted and when he woke up. And he usually always wakes up between 7:30. Sometimes he will sleep until 8. I think it's only happened like once or twice, but usually he sleeps about 10.5 to 11 hours at night. Now to talk about teething. His teething has been quite bothersome, and it really worries me at times. Whenever he first started teething, he would drool a lot and get really red cheeks, and that's completely normal. I think a lot of babies, you know, have those symptoms. Right before he popped his first tooth, he had like a really bad diarrhea. It burned like a hole in his butt cheek and it was bleeding, and I felt so bad. I had no idea that it was even there. He didn't let me know that it had bothered him. He wasn't whimpering, he wasn't crying. The only reason I knew he pooped is because I walked by him and I smelled it. Like, he had no indication whatsoever in his behavior or in any sounds he was making. Like, he was just playing with his toys, and then I walk by, smell poop, go in there, and I'm like, dude, you have a hole in your butt cheek and it's bleeding. Like, how does this not hurt you? And then the very next day, he popped a tooth, and then the day after that, he popped another tooth. So he popped 2 teeth in 2 days. That's probably why he had that really bad diarrhea. And I've talked to his doctor because he's had it several times after that, to where, you know, his butt will get better, and then right after his butt gets better, he has another poo where it burns his butt again. And it's happened like 2 or 3 times, and I talked to his doctor about it. I've called their office. They said that it's common in babies to have diarrhea and to just lather it up with Boudreaux's butt paste. That's what I use, and even use the couple of antibiotic creams and the antifungal cream that they gave me whenever he first started having the diarrhea problem. And that's really helped with his butt to kind of get better and to prevent any further burning of it because of that really thick layer. We're still waiting on more teeth. He's had these bottom 2 teeth since he turned 7 months old, and we're just kind of waiting on the next teeth to come out. We're not sure when it'll happen, but I will definitely update you guys when it does happen because I'm looking forward to it. Another thing with his teething is everything goes in his mouth. Everything goes in his mouth, whether it's his toys or the dog's toys or my finger, the remotes to the TV, my phone, my toes. He's chewed on my toes before. Everything goes in this child's mouth, and I know it's normal, but whenever we're out and about and like grocery shopping and he's sitting in the grocery cart, he goes to bite the handle on the cart, the thing that you push, and it freaks me out because of everything that's going on right now and just germs in general. I don't want him biting on that. It drives me crazy sometimes because everything goes in this boy's mouth. Now, the last thing I want to update you guys on are the milestones that I've noticed. So between 7 months and now, he started babbling a lot more, and even now he'll say, well, I say it's mama, but it's mama, mama. Like, he'll say that, and he does it when he gets upset. Like, whenever he's calling for me, he'll say mama, mama, or whenever we're playing, he'll say it. And whenever I'll look at him and I'll go mama, and he'll just kind of look at me and smile. So I think he knows that it's me, but I mean, I'm telling myself that. He may not know that. Like, he may just be kind of babbling, but in my heart, I'm just saying that he's saying mama, and it makes me happy because kids' first words are usually dada, and I am so happy that he's saying mama. Even if it's not mama, I'm counting it. I call it, it's mama, that's his first word. Let me have this. He's also started sitting up very well on his own. He can't get from a lying position to a sitting position on his own yet, but whenever he is in that sitting position, he used to fall back all the time. Now it's only every now and then he'll fall back, and when he does, he hits his head and he gets really sad. But what I do, unless I know that it hurts and like he hits his head on something hard, what I do whenever he hits his head on like a plush carpet or a pillow and I see that he gets a little upset, I go, oh, you're okay, you're all right. And then I just give him a toy to kind of distract him, because I don't want him to think that every time something uncomfortable happens, I don't want him to start like bawling and crying. And of course, like I said, whenever he does actually get hurt, like I know he hits his head hard or on like a table or something, when I know it actually hurts and he starts to cry, then I will coddle him, then I will love on him. But if it's just like a little and I know it doesn't hurt, like I can judge based on what he hits and how hard it is, and most of the time it's not very hard at all, and he kind of whimpers, he's okay. Like I know my baby, I know his cry, I know when he's actually hurt, so don't come at me for that. But he does sit up really well on his own, and he'll even kind of lie down, like he'll go down pretty gently and get on his belly, and he's actually started to get on his hands and knees and kind of rock back and forth. I don't have any footage of that because he just started doing it, and when he does it, he lies back down too fast to where I can't pull out my camera, and when I do have my camera out to try to get him in the act, he doesn't do it. So I have yet to get footage of that. He's really getting close to crawling, and it makes me kind of sad because he's not my little baby anymore. He's growing up, and he's growing up really fast. I've already started baby proofing. I've got, you know, things he doesn't need to be messing with off the floor. The outlets that we're not using, I've got them plugged up, and we also have the little cabinet locks, so we're gonna start, you know, putting those in the cabinets whenever it gets a little closer to time for him to start actually crawling. But as far as other baby proofing things, I don't really know. I guess we're just gonna kind of have to see how he messes with stuff, whether we're gonna have to get like baby gates or toilet locks, stuff like that. And another little thing that he does, and I don't know if it's like a milestone or whatever, but he screams when he gets really excited. And there are certain songs that he will listen to and he'll just start screaming, or something on TV, or one of the dogs, or a person, or just whatever. When he gets excited, he will scream, and if he does it in your ear, oh my goodness, it is loud, but it's really cute. And I love his little personality. He's so fun, he's so goofy, and it's so fun now watching him, you know, with his own little personality and how he interacts with things, how he looks at people. He loves people, he's friendly to everybody. If you look at him and, you know, say, "Hi, how are you?" he'll just give you the biggest smile, and you'll see his two little teethies, and it's just the cutest thing ever. All right, you guys, so that is it for William's 8-month update. I'll give y'all another update whenever he's 9 months old to tell you everything else that he started to do. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.